Hello everyone, this is Jackie Hayes. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Perth in Western Australia. And at the moment it's quite cold and raining and we've had thunderstorms. Maybe it's time we got a little bit more warm weather. I don't know about where you are, but hopefully you're staying warm and staying well. And today's challenge was to do a card with crushed curry, basic grey, whisper white, rich raspberry, and you could mix it up any way you liked. You could use inks or papers. I've done both. This is a card I've come up with, and it's Country Home, and this is one that we've had in for a long time. It's been in the last catalogue, now it's back in this new one, and I thought it's one that's getting a little bit neglected. I do like it, and I like the things that go with it, the stamps that go with it. It is a polymer stamp, so you do need a pad underneath when you're stamping, which I've got one here. And my excuse me, my crushed curry is the base card, and the basic grey is the card, which I've got crushed curry at a 5, scored at 10.5, and basic grey is 10 by 14.5, and then I've got whisper white, which is 9.5 by 14.5, and you need 2 of these. Sorry, 9.5 by 14. You need 2 of these, and the reason why you need 2 at that size is because it needs to print 3 of these off. If it was bigger, then you would only get 3 anyway, and it wouldn't look right. And I've then put a dimensional at the back of this, and then I fussy cut this out and put a dimensional behind that, and I fussy cut the saying out and put dimensionals behind that, so it's layered up. So then we'll get started, and first thing that I'm going to do is we're going to use I've forgotten what they call it. Oh dear me. No. It is the Stamparatus. Sorry about that. I had a brain freeze for a moment. But when you're doing the Stamparatus, always put some kind of backing down there underneath, so that you don't bend these little lugs off. So then my first bit I've used is for this piece, and this, oops, it's because I've got this on the opposite side, which is the milk churn. I might just put a piece of card on that so I stop it sticking on there. Yeah, that's okay. Right, and I've used the stamp rich raspberry ink, and fetch it over, press it down, and it's not quite done it, which is good because I can show you again that this will do it perfect. Stamparatus is brilliant for that. You don't need to mess about trying to line it up, it's already done. With this one now, I'm going to do all these in a line, and all you do with that is move the Stamparatus down 1 notch, ink it up again, perfect, and then move. You always, to lift out the plate, always lift it up straight up. Don't pull it over like that, and don't pull it over like that, it will break. Just lift it straight up and pop it straight down. It's not hard. If it becomes hard, it's wrong. And as you can see, that one's not done it again, so I'll press it down again. Perfect. I have got the pad underneath. It comes with a felt pad. I've also got a piece of paper that's laminated, squared off, and then a mat, silicone mat on that as well. No, it's stamping that. The best way to do it is not with the big pads, it's with the little ones, but I haven't got one. But that's not a problem. I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to start all over again. And I will just use my chamois on that every time, just to make sure I get it. Get it wiped off. But that's not a problem. I can start at the bottom this time and work upwards. So you can see it's just as easy to work the opposite way. If I'd have used my brain when I was doing this, I would have actually stuck that onto a different plate, because I have got 2 plates. In fact, I've got more than 2 plates. Just wipe that off again. And just to reach the top one, and then what I did as well, I stamped one off onto a piece of card, Whisper White card, because I fussy cut one out. Now that's sorry, that's the first bit done, and this piece I'm going to just, this is the inside, and I'm going to do this on the inside as well, so it matches the outside. Perfect. Just this is so simple. When you come to do a lot of stamping, you could do it in multiples of cards by just moving it along and doing the same image all the time. It's one of the best things I bought. I have got a Misty, but since I've got this one, I haven't used the Misty, which is a shame, but it doesn't do what I want it to do. You can't extend your card. You've not got the two bits across the top and down the side. Right, now I'm just going to ink that on there. And I take it to the top where I'm supposed to have it. I can put that in the corner. I like to work from the corner with my Stamparatus because that way then you don't have to keep measuring out your paper. And if it doesn't stamp right, you can put it back in the corner and it's perfect. And that one is. So then I'll wipe that off. And then with this inside one, I'm going to stamp the saying, which is it that one? Yes, it is that one. Which is so grateful for someone like you in my life. And the outside saying is simply thankful for the good things, for all the good things. Now I've used the crushed curry, and this is for the saying on the inside. I'll just wipe that off. Like I said, it is better if you were to use the smaller small stamp. That's not quite stamped it. Smaller stamp pads, that's better. So there you see, it's not a smudge, it's not got a shadow, it's just perfect, which is what, when we're stamping and making cards, it's what we need. Perfect. Because most of us are perfectionists, which is not always easy. Right, for this bit now, I've turned it round, so you can see that I have turned it round, and I've got the milk churn on this side, and I'm going to line that up in the corner because I want that there. And I have used Memento Black. I'll just fold the inks down, because if I don't, I'm liable to get it on my card, and I don't want that, which I've already got some on my fingers, so I'll just wipe my fingers off. So Memento Black, because I'm going to use the blends, and when you're using blends you really do have to use Memento Black. Stays on smudges, and that's no good, but Memento doesn't. I'll leave that open because I want that. This is for the milk churn, and that's stamped off perfect. So there you see, that's part, now that's the inside and part of the outside done, and then this bit I'm going to cut off and stick over there. So I'll just wipe this off and then move my Stamparatus out of the way. So that's finished with now, and Then I'm going to stamp, while I've got the lid, the Memento Black, I'm going to stamp off the flower, or should I use that one? I might just use the other one. And then I'll have two different cards rather than two the same. And you can see with these that I have done masking. And when I've had a card class, the ladies don't take them home, they give them me back, so I can use them over and over again. Right, so I'll just wipe that off, and I'll take that off and put the other one on for a change. And just pull them off. I just stick that on there for a moment. And then it'll be deciding on which colour I use to colour these in. I'm giving it plenty of ink so that I know it's inked well and it will stamp out well. I'm just going to use the pad. And this pad is what came out of the block case when I got all my clear blocks. So you don't have to waste anything. That's perfect. I can work with that one. And then this piece is for the saying, and that is done in Rich Razzleberry. So I've done with that one. I'll use the Rich Razzleberry, and then all the inks are done and out of the way. When you're inking, the best way to do it is to put your pad, your stamp down, and use your pad on the top. If it's a juicy pad, which that one isn't, it's an old one, you tap lightly, but that one is a real old one, and it's the felt pad. But I'm not getting rid of my old ones just because new ones have come in. Right, wipe these off straight away. And move them to one side, so right. And then the next bit is, so you can see there, then those two there are stamped off, and I'm going to move that out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. With the blends, they do bleed, so you've really got to be careful how you try not to go over the lines. And I'll show you when I've done the milk churn. I'm going to do it in the basic black around the edges first because it needs the dimensional bit of shading. And try not to go over the edge. I'm using the brush end of the blend, and this is basic grey, and that's really as much as, I'll just do that little bit there. That's as much as I want to do. Now you need to leave that a fraction because it's an alcohol base. If you leave it, it will dry us a lighter colour. And then the lighter grey will blend in. So while I'm waiting for that to dry a little bit, I will do a bit on this one. And I've got Mossy Meadow Light and Dark, and that's for the leaves. And I'm doing the bullet part because they're only small leaves. I don't want to go over them too much. Bit of a stem there and a bit there. There's a stem. And that's another leaf there. And that is there. That's another leaf there. There'll always be something that I've missed. Usually is. So now I'll leave that bit to go drier, and I'll use the lighter, light basic grey, and I'm going to use the brush end of this again, and you swirl this so that you've got no lines. And just be careful as you get to the edge, because we don't want to go over on the paper. Don't forget that this is not a scrap piece of paper, it's the main part of the card, so we need to be careful as we come to the ends, the edges of it. And can't swirl it round when you get to the edges, but it will blend in just as good. So you can see that that's blended in now, and that will take just a fraction to dry. But what I want to do as well, I want to give it that little bit of a highlight on here, and I've got the colour lifter, and this is just a plain alcohol in this one, and I'll just rub this down, and it takes the colour out of it a little bit. I don't want to overdo it. So there you see, you've got the shading on this side, you've got the blending with the grey, but you've also got the light coming through on, hold it up so that you can see it, you've got the light coming up onto the front of that, rather than doing another colour. So there's and then when you've done that, just wipe the colour lifter off onto a spare piece of paper, scrap paper. Right, I'll move that out of the way. So that one is then finished now. So hopefully you can see what that looks like. And we'll concentrate back on this one. I'm doing the light green, and it's the bullet end again. These come in a combo, so you've got a light and a dark blend. Missed one there. So yeah, you've got a light and a dark blend, which is good because you don't, it's good in a way if you're only a hobby person, but for me that's a demonstrator, I use a lot of blends, and because the alcohol markers, they run out pretty quickly with the amount of people that's using mine. Right, so now I've got Rich Razzleberry light and dark, and I'm just going to do these bits here, swirl them round. I'm using the brush end again, and use that one. Bits of those little bits there. That's because I want to do the other flowers in the crushed curry. And I'll use the light one then to do these pieces here, because they're part, I'm not sure whether they're mushrooms or not. No, there can't be mushrooms. I can see a leaf that I have missed. I knew that would happen there. So then all this bit now is going to be in the crushed curry. So you see I have got all the colours that I nominated to my ladies, and this is the dark crushed curry. And I'm doing a little bit of dark on each flower so that it will then be blended in with the lighter colour. It's a light one altogether. So that's the flower finished. Now I'm going to cut that out, and because I haven't got a die for this one, I'm going to fussy cut it out. Right, it shouldn't take me too long. And what you do is you hold your scissors straight and move your card, and it helps with the cutting, and it helps with the rounding off. I'm just going to take that piece off because it's a little bit on the large side. And I'm using the small snips. I try to, if it's a big piece, then I'll use the bigger scissors I've got, but for this type of thing I'm using the snips. And you can see I'm just going round each flower with the moving the card rather than the scissors. If while I'm doing this, if you wanted to order a catalogue from me, the mini catalogue is coming out on the 1st of August, and I don't charge for that, though I have to charge for the bigger ones. I don't charge for the mini catalogues. That's a gift from me. For the bigger catalogues, main catalogue that comes out in June, which just come out, I charge $5. And at the moment, if you order over $90 in products, then you will get a $9 voucher as on an email to spend in August on any products you want. So you've got a bonus of $9 saving. If you spend $880, you get 2, and so on. But if you're spending $180, why not become a demonstrator for $169? And then you actually then start getting savings on what you buy. You save 20% on everything that you want to buy. Right, I have cut that out. See, that didn't take long. Excuse me. And I'm going to put that on there with some dimensionals, but I will stick these all together first, and I'm just going to use, actually I use this just to show you that this is a new seal, stamping seal, and this one's not the strong one. This is the like a snail, and all you do is press that down, and if you do it slow, I'm just hoping that when I start putting it on my card it goes straight, because it doesn't give you any wiggle room. That's good, straight. I will put this one on the inside. That's not the way to do it. It's not, for some reason it's not rolling. Oh, that's all I need. Oh, it is. You don't tick these off. Because it pulls it to one side, whereas with the old ones you tick them off. Now I'm just going to put that on there, and that's the inside, and that's perfect. I just need to get this one perfect then, and I've done a good job. See, can you see I've used the back of this where I've made a bit of blood there, but also with this blends, it's bled through and you wouldn't be able to use that side again. Might be quicker if I used to be a tape person, but now I like my glue. It's getting used to the snail tapes again, and there is one that's for a strong adhesive. Wow, that made a change. It's all right, and it has got a top to it when I find it there. And that's the strong tape if you're using boxes. So that's the two together. You just need, one is the dark and one is the light, and it's the dark has got ridges on it. Don't know what difference the ridges make to it, but I'm going to put dimensionals on this, and for the dimensionals I will use my take your pick tool.